Let me introduce our third panelist, Evgenios Evgeniou, who's the CEO of PwC Cyprus. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to join this distinguished panel. I will try not to repeat what President Neofidou has just said, who gave a very good overview of the situation in Cyprus at the moment in terms of the economy. I would just add, in terms of the management of the pandemic in Cyprus, that has added another factor in terms of the advantages of actually living and working in Cyprus. Cyprus as a jurisdiction has many advantages as a business center and a business hub. And we have always been saying that beyond the common law, the stable taxation system, the proximity to the region, and a gateway to the eastern markets, it was a place where you could live and work safely in a pleasant environment. I think the management of the pandemic and the situation in Cyprus over the last months have reinforced that position. Now, looking into the future, many commentators believe that the recovery is going to be deals-led. There is a lot of liquidity internationally, and there is a big expectation for transactions globally. And in that context, the functioning of the funds industry is going to be important. And Cyprus is at the moment the fastest developing alternative investment funds jurisdiction within the European Union. And that for good reason. Obviously, we have an EU compliant regime with competitive pricing in terms of doing business and a good environment in terms of the services supporting that industry. And we're seeing a lot of interest, especially in the post-Brexit period, and in the positioning that the funds industry is taking, looking forward to the recovery once we have a vaccine or a reliable medicine to deal with the pandemic, to position themselves in Cyprus in setting up a funds structure. So I believe that Cyprus, a funds jurisdiction, will continue to prosper, especially in the alternative investment funds space. Beyond that, one of the successes of Cyprus recently that perhaps is not that well known is the development of university education in the private and in the public sector. And in fact, Cyprus has managed to attract significant amounts of funding through the Horizon 2020 program, but also through teaming projects. And a number of significant research institutes have been based in Cyprus, some of them with regional and EU collaboration between Cyprus universities and universities abroad. Now that coupled with the excellent intellectual property regime that we have in Cyprus has generated a lot of interest for research centers and patents to be registered in Cyprus, alongside headquartering for the region. And in the context of the EU recovery program, we expect significant investments in the space of the digital economy and also the transition to the green economy. And in that regard, Cyprus, with its well-educated workforce, people who speak English, the proximity to the region, I think will have a significant role to play. And the reforms that were mentioned earlier that will drive, obviously, competitiveness in the economy, but will also help develop further the infrastructure in the digital economy and the green economy space, create a lot of prospects going forward. Those prospects, alongside the traditional sectors of the economy, make us feel optimistic that once again, and I say once again because we have the experience of the financial crisis when Cyprus, against maybe certain commentators' expectations, had a quick rebound, and since 2016 and up to the pandemic has been experiencing one of the fastest GDP growth in the European Union. That makes us confident again that Cyprus will rebound in 2021 and beyond, and we will experience good, sustainable growth, not only in the traditional sectors of the economy, but in the new, developing and emerging sectors like the funds industry, the digital economy, and the transformation and the transition to green energy. So I would encourage, investors and business people and people in the financial services industry to have a closer look at the prospects in Cyprus. Beyond that, I would say that the region of the Eastmed throughout history has been a trading hub and has been a transition from Europe to the East. And clearly, this is becoming even more important these days for reasons that have already been explained earlier. And we should see the geopolitical developments in the region more as an opportunity and more as a highlight of the importance of our region rather than threats. So with these remarks, I will stop, and obviously I look forward to the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Evgeniou.